put most of the oil in his engine, except for a little he saved to mix in the can with some gas, and poured this into the tank of an elegant little imported-looking chainsaw, about the size of a mini-Mac, which he then stashed in a canvas beach bag. Prairie's friend Slide came wandering out of the office to have a look.
"Uh-oh, is it that time again already?"
"This year it snuck up on me. Hate to think I'm getting too old for this."
"Know the feeling,"
Slide nodded. "You're 15, Slide."
"And seen it all. Whose front window you doing it to this year?"
"Nobody's. I'm giving that all up. Window jumping's in my past. This year I'm gonna just take this little chainsaw into the log jam and see what develops from there."
Maybe not, Mr. Wheeler. You been up there lately?"
"Oh, I know there's some heavy-duty hombres. Badasses spend all day narrowly escaping death by tree. Not too much patience with anything out of the ordinary, but I've got the element of surprise. Don't I?"
"You'll see,"
Weary Slide advised. He sure would, but only after spending more time out on 101 than his already fragile sense of humor could take, owing to a convoy of out-of-state Winnebagos on some leisurely tour of the Redwoods, in among whom, on the 2-lane stretches, he was obliged to gear down and put up with a lot of attention, not all friendly. "Give me a break," he yelled over the engine noise. "It's a Calvin Klein original."
"Calvin doesn't cut nothing bigger than a 14.
A girl younger than his daughter screamed at him out her window.
"And you ought to be locked up."
It was well into lunchtime when he got to the log jam, and he was disappointed to find nobody at all from the media. Just a collection of upscale machinery parked in the lot, itself newly blacktopped. These were to be the first of several rude updates. Trying to think cheerful thoughts, like assuming the television crews were only late, Zoyd collected the bag with the saw in it, checked his hair one more time, and went storming into the logjam, where right away he noticed that everything, from the cooking to the clientele, smelled different. Uh-oh. Wasn't there supposed to be some loggers' bar around here someplace? Everybody knew it was high times for the stiffs in the woods, though not for those in the mills, with the Japanese buying up unprocessed logs as fast as the forest could be clear-cut. But even so, the scene in here was peculiar. Dangerous men with coarsened attitudes, especially toward death, were perched around lightly on designer bar stools, sipping kiwi mimosas. The jukebox, once famous for hundreds of freeway exits up and down the coast for its gigantic country and western collection, including half a dozen covers of So Lonesome I Could Cry, was reformatted to light classical and new age music that gently peeped at the edges of audibility, slowing, lulling this room full of choppers and choker setters who now all looked like models in Father's Day ads. One of the larger of these, being among the first to notice Zoyd, had chosen to deal with the situation. He wore sunglasses with stylish frames, a Turnbull and Asser shirt in some pastel plaid, 3-figure price tag jeans by Madame Gray, and après logging shoes of a subdued but incontestably blue suede. "Well, good afternoon, pretty lady, and how fine you're looking. I'm sure in another setting and mood we'd all like to know you as a person with your many fine points and so on like that. But from your fashion message I can tell that you are a sensitive type person who'll appreciate the problem we have here in terms of orientational vibes, if you follow." The already confused Zoyd, whose survival instincts may not have been working all the way up to spec, decided to produce the chainsaw from his bag. "Buster," he called plaintively to the owner behind the bar, "where's the media?" The implement attracted immediate attention from everyone in the room, not all of it technical curiosity. It was a tailor-made ladies' chainsaw, tough enough for timber, as the commercial said, but petite enough for a purse. The guide bar, handle grips, and housing were faced in genuine mother-of-pearl and spelled out in rhinestones on the bar, surrounded by saw-teeth ready to buzz, was the name of the young woman he'd borrowed it from, which onlookers took to be Zoyd's drag name, Cheryl. "Easy there, cowgirl.